Hey class, welcome to Chapter 13, Section 3, Fighting for the Southwest. In this section, we're looking at the Mexican War. As I told you a couple sections ago, after James K. Polk became president, he decided to annex Texas. To annex means to add. And so we're going to add this piece of land here to America. The problem is, Mexico saw that land as their land. So when we annex them, Mexico declares war against us, and war breaks out by 1846. A lot of key fighting going on in both Mexico and in the Southwest. And the fighting's all the way up into California, all through here, because all of this is Mexican territory. And the big area of dispute, the Texas area, is right through here, of kind of which river was the border? Which was it supposed to be? America thought it should be right through here. Mexico thought further over, and it caused a lot of fighting. But fortunately, after a good year of fighting, about a year and a half of fighting, behind the leadership of General Zachary Taylor, who's going to lead the Americans in their victory here, war is over. And America defeats Mexico and gains Texas and gains so much. Here is the new map of America. We win this area from when Texas was annexed, and then we ended up buying all of this from Mexico for $15 million. We buy that land. We also agree to cancel all debt that Mexico owed us. And in doing so, America gained California, Texas, Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, a huge chunk of land. And I want you to notice, what was Manifest Destiny? That's right, the belief that America would own all the land to the Pacific Ocean, and now we do. We now own all of this land, sea to shining sea, Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. We did it. Manifest Destiny is complete. I also want to point out this piece of land right down here called the Gadsden Purchase. That's going to happen about 5 years later. America buys this area right here for $10 million from Mexico. Why? Because we want to create a southern transcontinental railroad that would cut through this land into California. So we buy that. With the purchase of the Gadsden Purchase, the continental United States, the border that we have today, minus Alaska and Hawaii, was completed. We now again have all the land coast to coast. However, there's always a problem when new land gets acquired at this day and age. And the issue is, what do we do about the slave issue? Does this land here become slave or free? Which direction will it go? Every time new land is added, sectional differences, sectional tension between the two groups, North and the South, arises. So we've got to come up with a plan as to how to figure that out. Who do we call? Who do we call when we need to have a compromise? Well, of course, it's our man Henry Clay once again. Again, Henry Clay to the rescue to save the day, to save the Union. Thank goodness for Henry Clay. Caw. He's here with us. Here he is debating the issue in the Senate. The great compromise of 1850. Him, Daniel Webster, John C. Calhoun, all fighting together to keep the Union together. It's the last time these three men will be alive together, is championing the compromise of 1850. So, the compromise is made. Let me tell you what it says. The compromise says California will come in as a free state. Texas, a slave state. No more slave trade in Washington, D.C. the abolishment of slave trade in D.C., and then a stronger fugitive slave law. A fugitive slave law said that if a slave escapes to the North must return them to the South because they are property. So a stronger fugitive slave law. So the North gets California and end of slave trade in D.C. The South gets Texas and the fugitive slave law. And Utah and New Mexico territory would be popular sovereignty states, meaning that the people of the state would determine whether they would have slaves or not. During this time, by the way, we have a new president. President Zachary Taylor, that's right, the war hero, becomes president in 1848. James K. Polk says, I'm not going to run again. Taylor does. He's our 12th president. However, just 16 months into his time in office, he dies. Taylor dead. Millard Fillmore becomes our 13th president. Millard Fillmore, number 13. So, a lot going on. Manifest Destiny, though, has been completed. Huzzah!